if you're doing all the right things and you're still not seeing any return on your investment and you're not getting the results that you had hoped you would by now, well, there might be a reason why, right? More than likely there is. And so what is that reason? Well, it's you playing small. And so playing it safe is not necessarily smart, right? It's a silent killer actually of your potential. And that potential is you having the ability to walk into the magnitude of your greatness. And that's what I want to talk about and get into today in this episode. But before I do, whether you're new to me or true to me, I want to welcome you back. Thank you for being here. My name is Katrina Marie, also known as the Boss Chick Biz Coach and your fearless leader. I am a holistic business coach and a RN health and wellness educator, and I teach high achieving women entrepreneurs and successful career women how to build an aligned and profitable online brand and business without sacrificing your soul and sanity or compromising your health, healing, and happiness. Okay. In other words, we need to prioritize your health, healing, and happiness always. Okay. And so as we get into this conversation today, I want you to stay tuned in and tapped in, and definitely I love having a dialogue here. So as we are like getting through this and going through the process and having the conversation, let me know in the comments what is hitting home, what resonates with you, and all that jazz, so that we can keep the conversation going beyond this video. Okay. So if you're still not seeing the results, any results, or the results that you anticipated that you would or should have by now, well, playing small is not going to get you there, right? What does playing small actually look like though? Because that word is kind of used loosely, or those terms are sort of used loosely. And that could mean something different to every person who hears it, right? Your interpretation of that might be different than what is meant to be delivered as. And so let me tell you what it is and what I mean by it when I say it, okay? Because maybe this is not necessarily what other people always mean, but it does look like doing everything by the book, but feeling boxed in, okay? That's one way it could look. It could look like being afraid to post boldly, to say what you really want to say, to go against the grain, right? To have a belief that is like a hill you're willing to die on, right? It's being fearful to say what you got to say and showing up as the true, authentic you for fear of judgment, or usually it's rooted in fear. It's might be you're afraid to raise your prices, right? Or, to try something new. Like you're just used to doing the same mundane things the way you've always done them. And you're bored to death with those things, but you won't change things up. You won't switch it up a bit. You're not thinking outside of the box and thinking about how you can be innovative. And so you just keep showing up as you usually do, as you are, and not diving deeper into discovering more about you and letting that part of you come out. Like there's more than one sides of you, right? Because you are a whole multi-passionate, multi-talented, multi-dimensional human being, usually, especially those of us who are ambitious, high-achieving women, and dare I say overachievers, right? Type A personalities. We like to do a lot, and we typically are doing the most. But we downplay our greatness oftentimes because we don't want to shine our light too brightly, because what would people think? We don't want to seem too boastful because how is that going to make people feel? Especially if we are around other people who are not as successful as we are. We have the tendency to dim our own lights, right? And hide behind our own shadows and just kind of downplay things. And sometimes too, if you come from, especially people like you and I come from the corporate environment, you might really be somebody who's like not used to like shining your own light, but you should be. Now, that was never my problem. Okay. Not fully. I have done that a time or two, but I got to the point where I was like, look, take me as I am or don't. But I am no longer going to be that chick who ever dims my light for anyone. Okay. And I never believed in dimming my light, to be honest. The only times I did do it is to make other people feel comfortable. It wasn't because of my own discomfort. Do you know what I'm saying? So I believe in blinding the world with your brilliance. Okay. That's who I am. That's what I teach. And I believe that for a long time. I've been saying that for a long time. So that's the philosophy I live by. I model that. And I want to exude that same level of confidence and energy to you because you should be doing the same. Okay. So, but that's some of the ways in which it can look like. Saying yes, by the way, is something you might be doing right now because you're saying yes to things that you're comfortable saying yes to, the things that you're familiar with. And so you're saying yes to it, but not necessarily those things that are aligned or those people who are not aligned with where you are in your journey right now, right? I have had to say so many no's and cut so many people off because they were just not aligned with who I am now and where it is I'm going. And I am so clear on what my core values are that I never deviate from them, right? Those drive my behaviors, my actions, my decisions. And so it's an easy no for me. Like, nah, I'm good, you know? So you've got to get to that place too. So I had a client who refused. I mean, refused, okay? Refused, seriously, to launch her course when we first started working together because she felt like, but I need the perfect funnel, right? And we can get caught up in that perfectionism for so long. Again, especially if we've come from the corporate arena, which she did. And corporate expects you to show up as this perfect, polished, polite, professional, positive Patty kind of chick. But that's not really who you are. And so, see, when we are so used to putting on a mask for those individuals in that world, when we come over to the business world, especially if you still have a part of yourself over there in that world and you're sort of sandwiched in between. And so you're still hearing those messages and operating from an employee mindset as opposed to an employer mindset or a CEO mindset. That can be a really difficult place to be, right? And so she refused for at least 3 months, the first 3 months of us working together, to launch her darn course, okay? I was so annoyed with her, okay? I wanted to just reach through the computer and like shake her up. And I told her, and we would have some good laughs because it's all in love, but I really am like the kind of the kind of coach that's always in your face, okay? But she wasn't making no money. And she kept complaining about, I'm not making no money. Well, go figure, right? Because you're caught up in doing things the perfect way. And so I had to prove to her that perfecting anything in life requires you to be committed to doing it not perfectly, but practicing doing the thing, right? Taking action, even if it's messy. And sometimes it's going to be raggedy, okay, in the beginning. It ain't going to be perfect. And we don't want perfect because you know what? Last time I checked, God, who made you, who made me, he didn't make no perfect people. Okay, so I don't know where we get off thinking that we've got to be perfect for who? Imperfect people? People who are flawed all day? Listen, darling, you are perfect in your imperfection, okay? Know that. Be that, accept that, and be okay with it. And show up anyway. Do it messy, okay? We can always make progress in perfecting it in the doing, not just thinking what it should be, not staying in the mode of, oh, I got to get this right. I got to get this perfect. No. Okay. So that is a hard no, by the way. So if you couldn't tell, but I had to show her that it was really in the doing and that this so-called feeling she had of, but I'm not ready. Now is the perfect time. Okay. You are still going to be groomed and prepared for your higher level, the higher version of yourself, that 2.0 version of you. But in the meantime and in between time, girl, you got to get in action. Okay. Roll up your sleeves, get in the trenches, get in action and do it. Just do it. Okay. That's where we live by the Nike slogan, right? We just got to do it. We got to start. We got to start. So I always love that quote, and I have a few quotes of my own, but I love quotes. And so I'll say one by Les Brown, and hopefully I don't mess this up now that I'm putting it out here. But Les Brown has said years ago when I first started listening to him, and in fact, I have it in my email as a quotable, as a part of my signature line. But he says, you ain't got to be great to get started, but you got to get started to be great, you know? So I love that. It's just so true, right? So we got to talk about what it is costing you, though. And this is a bigger piece of the message I want you to take home. What is it costing you to play small? It's costing you, just like I alluded to in the example I gave you about my client, it's costing you missed opportunities. It's costing you delayed income. You're not making any money by trying to be perfect, right? You got to perfect it by making progress. And as you make progress, you'll realize what works for you and what doesn't. And then it's in the doing that you'll learn that. And then you'll realize, okay, that didn't work so well for me. So let me do it this way. Let me do it this way. Let me try a new way. I am in my third iteration of this business since the 9 years I've been in this business. So how it looks now and how I show up now is not the way I exactly showed up or how my business looked or what it actually was in the beginning. Okay. But we got to make that cash. Okay. Because you're in business, right? So we got to just come to our senses and have that come to Jesus moment conversation with ourselves sometimes and realize that it ain't that serious. It just really ain't. People don't even know what your perfect looks like, if there is such a thing, and it's not. So people actually don't like other people showing up as if they are perfect, as if they don't ever make mistakes, because that's not genuine, right? Okay. Also, what this could be costing you is it's burning you out, because you're doing all the things and wearing all the hats. And I say it all the time, girl, that ain't sexy. And it doesn't feel good, right? It doesn't allow you to move the needle. It keeps you in a still stuck and stagnant position. That's not where we want to be. High achieving women, that ain't where we want to be, right? We like to move forward. We like to make progress. We like to get there and check it off the box already. So, and it also is costing you your confidence, because the longer you wait, the less confident you are. Every safe move is not so safe, right? And it doesn't work. What it does do, I'll say, is reinforce fear. That's what it does do. So let's not do that. Now, before we go any deeper, if you're getting what I'm giving and you love these gems I'm dropping, go ahead and leave a comment right now so we can get this discussion popping. Let me know what's an aha moment for you. You know, have you thought about things in this way, or am I bringing something new to you? Is this music to your ears? Let me know what's resonating with you, what's pulling on those heartstrings, and what you're going to do differently as a result. And be sure, if you're not already, subscribe to my channel. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you never miss a single episode whenever I drop new content and or go live. Okay, now back to what we're talking about. Playing it safe. What is it costing you? We talked about that. But you know what else? Playing it safe equals self-sabotage. You are sabotaging yourself. Yes, you are. Hate to be the bearer of bad news, but that is what you're doing, right? That's driven by fear, not wisdom. It creates a false sense of control. And you're not avoiding failure by playing small. You need to know that. Okay. What you are doing, though, is ensuring stagnation, like I just said a little bit ago, right? Still stuck in stagnation. You're not moving forward. You're just there, stuck in limbo. But are you really, when you are really in control and it's your choice? So make a different choice to do something different, right? And on the contrary, playing big actually looks like what? Making moves before you're ready, right? The opposite of what we just talked about. It means asking for what you really want, not what you think people want to hear. And also believing that you're worthy to receiving it, to having it, that it is your birthright, that you are entitled to it. You need to have a sense of entitlement, okay? And you have to be willing to suck at something new in order to succeed at something greater. You know what I'm saying? So I want to leave you with this piece of empowerment because, it's all about taking radical action, but always standing in unity and supporting one another. And as I'm building my community here, I want you to know that I am really in this journey with you. So I need you to know this. You were not born to be basic. Oh, no, ma'am, you were not. So let's get that out of our minds. You were also not meant to play by the rule books of someone else, of what society says it should be for you. So stop listening to everybody else but you, okay? Those conversations need to be had with yourself, between you and God, your creator who designed you to be something greater, and with a community of people who really care about you, who get you, who understand you, who can take you along with them, who can help you, pull you forward, push you ahead, right? And a coach who also cares, who's been there, done that, who's already paved the way, and who models the lifestyle and the behavior and the belief systems and all of that you want to have yourself, and the kind of lifestyle you want to live, and the kind of achievements and accomplishments that you want to make. So those are the individuals you need to be around, like-minded people. Okay, so I was saying you were not born to be basic or play by other people's rules. And by the way, playing it safe is not protecting you. Okay, in case you thought that. It's keeping you actually from your bigger purpose and the work you are really called to do. And the life that you are called to lead and the people you were called to serve. So if you need additional support, then I'm here for you. Okay, I want you to know that you can book a Freedom and Focus Clarity call with me. If you need the clarity, if you need more guidance and support, if you need a way out, if you need to know, okay, I just got all this craziness in my mind, right? And I need somebody to help me like hash through this. Like I'm going to lay it all on the table. I just need somebody to sort of walk me through what the process could look like and what that transformation looks like, right? So where it is you are now and where it is you want to be is what we'll talk about on this call, and basically what the next steps are for you to take in order to get you there. Okay. So also, I do want to leave you with this too. If you want access to the replay for the Job Liberation Virtual Summit for Black women, so the first resource I gave you is for women collectively, women over 40 in particularly, because those are the groups of peeps I work with, all right? Y'all are my peeps. But if you do identify as a woman of color, specifically a Black woman, or you know someone who is or does identify as that, or you want to give someone, okay, share this resource with that individual. Or if you yourself identifies as that, then be sure to grab the copy of or the replay to the Job Liberation Virtual Summit for Black women as another resource for you or someone else, okay? Buy one for yourself and for the next person that's within your inner circle. All right, now that's my time. So I'm going to tune out while you tune in. Make sure you share this video out with at least 3 friends and watch the next video that YouTube recommends. As always, and until next time, I am wholeheartedly in this journey with you. Bye for now.